Hello, Namaste, good day to one and all. In this video and audio, I am going to explain the poem The Last Bargain for Standard 8th. The Last Bargain is a soulful poem written by the famous Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore. He was the well-known poet of India who received the Nobel Prize for his collection of poems Gitanjali. He was a poet and writer who wrote in Bengali language and is translated to English language. The poem describes the story of a man who is searching for a job. He wants a job in which he can work without losing his freedom. The man didn't need power, wealth, or beauty. He valued freedom more than anything else. The narrator or the speaker of the poem rejects the worldly things and feels playing with a child will make him a free man. Here the poem has a message to give to all, that freedom, brain and happiness is more desirable. Listen to the audio of the poem, which I will explain and recite stanza-wise. The Last Bargain, written by famous poet Rabindranath Tagore. Let me read the beautiful thought-provoking poem and explain each stanza with its meanings. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. It was evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From thenceforward, that bargain, stuck in child's play, made me a free man. Now, let me explain stanzas one by one. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. Meanings here, me and I, the poet, speaker, man, or it refers to the narrator, the poet. Chariot, two-wheeled horse-drawn vehicle. Hire, employ for wages. Not, nothing, nil, zero. Let me explain the first stanza. The poet Rabindranath Tagore opens with the speaker crying and asking to hire or employ him. The poet here describes that the speaker, or we might say the man, asking to employ him. The man was walking in the morning on a road filled with stone. A king came in his chariot, carrying a sword in his hand. He held the man's hand and said that he would hire or employ him with his power. This shows that the king has offered him power in return for his labor or services. Like he said, I will hire you with my power. So it means He is offering him power in return for his labor or services. But the king's power counted nothing or nil for the man. It shows the job offered was not worthy for the man, or it was useless for the man. He rejected his job offer, and the king rode away in his chariot. The second stanza. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. The meaning of wander, roam around. Pondered, think about carefully. Crooked, curved, bent, out of shape. The explanation. In the second stanza, the speaker or the man continued walking, searching for a job. It was afternoon or midday. The weather was scorching. All the houses' doors were shut. He wandered along the crooked or twisted road. Then he saw an old man who came with a bag of gold. The old man pondered or thought for a while and offered him gold coins in return for his labor. He told that he would hire him for money as he weighed the coins one by one. The man did not accept his offer or turned away his job offer because he felt that gold or wealth cannot buy him everlasting happiness or satisfaction. Money and power is useless according to him. I hope it is clear. The man is not interested in power or wealth. Third stanza. It was evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. Hedge, a barrier of bushes. Fair maid, beautiful lady. Paled, faded away. Melted, here it means disappeared. The third stanza tells that the man moved on searching for a job. Now it was evening. He saw a beautiful garden full of flowers and a fence of plants. A beautiful dame or lady came out of the garden with a smile and said she would give him smiles in return for his work or hire him with her smiles. The man refused her offer and she went away back alone into the dark with tears in her eyes. The man realized her beauty will not remain for long. Emotions keep changing. Beauty fades away soon with age. That is what the poem is trying to tell us. The fourth stanza. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seems to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From thence forward, that bargain stuck in child's play made me a free man. Here the meaning of glistened, sparkled, wayward, unpredictable, and deviated. Meaning of bargain, an agreement between two or more people or groups. Bargain can be a deal. It can be an agreement between two people. The last stanza tells us that finally the man reached the seashore where the sun sparkled or glistened on the sand. The sea waves broke unpredictably or moved from the normal path. He saw a child's head raised and said, he has nothing to pay him in return but will hire him. Here it means the child will hire him for nothing. The man accepts the child's offer as he felt that he need not have to compromise his freedom. The speaker decided to play with this child and spent his time playing in the sand for nothing. According to the man, the child's offer was the best bargain. It was a best agreement or deal because he is a free man now. No one can bind him with power, wealth or beauty. He is free man playing with the child without bondage or responsibilities. Hope the whole poem is clear. Points to be noted here or the conclusion is the last bargain poem is a meaningful one that tells how one should live his life freely. It gives a message that no power, wealth or lust can make anyone happy. They are all materialistic desires that does not last long. Kindness, simplicity and innocence are more supreme of all that touch the soul, like the child who touched the speaker's soul. Contentment and happiness in our work is very important. Now, let me point out the figure of speech which has been used in the poem. There are two, alliteration and symbolism. What is alliteration? Alliteration is repetition of consonant sounds in a line. The first line, I was walking, W sound, walking, is alliteration. The king came, king, K sound, king came, K sound is alliteration. Held my hand, H sound, ha, is alliteration. And the last line, made me a free man, M and M is alliteration. Symbolism. Symbolism, an object, a person or idea that represents something deep beyond and not just what the word means is symbolism. Like the first paragraph, on stone paved road, and the second paragraph, the crooked lane. It gives the idea that the speaker is traveling on a hard and difficult path of life. The next one, first paragraph, again, king in his chariot with sword in his hand, represents the power of the king, the supreme power of the king. An old man with a bag of gold means wealth. A lady with a smile represents beauty. Morning represents hope and courage. Evening or dark is hopelessness. The rhyme scheme of the poem. Read the first stanza and check out the last word of each line. Give the alphabet A, B, C, D. Like, let's start now. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning. Morning is the last word of the first line and give it E. Second line, I was walking in the stone paved road. Road is the last line. It doesn't rhyme with morning, so give alphabet B. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. It does not rhyme with the word road and morning. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. Chariot, it does not rhyme with the above two words. So give C. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. Power does not rhyme with the above three words, morning, road, chariot. Give alphabet D. But his power counted for naught and he went away in his chariot. Now you can see chariot is repeated with the third line. So now give the alphabet C for chariot. The rhyme scheme of the first paragraph here is A, B, C, D, C. That's all from now. Take care. Thank you one and all. This is Padma. Please subscribe.